You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And go.
Oh, no, dear.
And go.
Don't need to make sure. Well, I'm always sure. This Jerry. Board Game Snobs podcast.
Oh, sorry.
And,
I prematurely introduced myself. This is Gaby.
Yeah, you didn't introduce yourself.
Thank you.
There you go. That's the way to be. Anyways, I don't know what you got going on.
Not with us today
But I have.
Hello there.
is Enrique.
Yeah, Enrique is not with us today. He's doing his own thing.
Not with us today.
I'm Dan Hughes.
Yeah, good for him for covering. Well, this is the COVID house.
Oh, gosh.
My home is infested with COVID, I believe. Everybody's sick. I'm not sick. I feel great. I was sick briefly a couple weeks back. I don't know if I brought it home or not.
Have you been taking your ivermectin, I hope?
I do vitamins and stuff all the time. Like
Colloidal
we're rarely sick.
silver.
I don't, that stuff turn you blue. I don't do none of that stuff. I just take vitamins.
Zinc.
I take zinc. Zinc's good for your prostate.
Maybe I should check out some zinc.
But yeah, I think my wife got COVID, but we're rarely ever sick.
That's unfortunate.
They're sick for like a day or something like that. But
She's been sick for a while. Ruined our whole weekend. Thanks a lot, Jennifer.
I don't know, the kids, everybody. I don't know what the deal is.
Well,
It's like that super COVID that does like the sore throat thing.
I had a sore throat, but it didn't turn into anything. I thought I was dying of throat cancer briefly. Turns out,
Yeah.
I just sneezed too hard one day.
You sneezed really hard and spent a week worrying about it.
I did. I thought I had throat cancer. It was like, I don't know what they're called because I'm not a doctor. I don't know if you know this, but I'm not a doctor. So I sneezed and in the area that they always feel of your lymph nodes, I'm like, oh, our lymph nodes are swollen right around there somewhere, but a little bit further down, right around where the thyroid is. Isn't that right, Jerry? Close to the Adam's apple. It was hurting and just on the right side. And I thought for sure a tumor was finna grow out and consume me, but it's gone now.
I'm glad you survived.
I did. I battled. I fought.
Worried about you.
I won the war.
You're a cancer survivor.
I won.
You fought so hard you didn't get it. Those are the real fighters, right?
I fought so hard. I never had
cancer, but don't ever get it. Huh? Oh, good
night.
No,
never say never, unfortunately. In this economy, anybody could get it.
That's not the economy that's giving you cancer. It's all that alcohol.
What?
That always gets me when people go on about this causes cancer. The first thing I say is, do you drink at all? Did you've increased your cancer by X percentage?
Right.
If you're drinking like more than 2 ounces every other day. I think that's what the British come up with.
I'm no doubt riddled with it then.
Yeah. But like, plastic. Oh, this causes cancer. No.
Yeah.
If you're drinking.
Don't eat off of Teflon. Don't scramble your eggs on that Teflon as I guzzle down my mimosa and Bloody Mary.
There you go. That's exactly my point. People just worry about what they want to worry.
No. Did you know a French convict used nectarines painted to resemble grenades to escape from prison in a helicopter piloted by his wife, who had taken flight lessons solely for this escape? That's a movie I want to see. I've
heard that story.
That's a movie.
I've actually heard that story. Whenever somebody wrote about it, I remember that specifically and thinking that's pretty cool. That's the type of marriage I want. Would your wife learn to fly a helicopter to come bust you out of prison and risk federal charges?
No.
If the answer to that is no, then you don't need to be with her.
I think she just respects the law and peace.
Nah, man. Did you ever watch that like 3 days, that Russell Crowe deal where he does that for his wife?
I don't think so.
That's like the last big screen Russell Crowe movie where like his wife, he feels like she's been convicted of murder and it was not correct. And he's like going to bust her out of prison. And he does it, like plots it. And it's like an everyday man story.
Is it a true story?
I'm sure it is. Well, you just gave the true story behind it.
Was that
the roles were just reversed.
He should have had, okay, so carrots as guns, nectarines as grenades, I mean, you could go on with a variety of vegetables. You could do a lot of things with an eggplant.
Are we trying to make fruit jokes here?
They spend. No, I'm not trying to. I mean, you can make some if you got some. You got any? What's your best fruit joke? Give it to me.
I don't know. There's just not that many fruit jokes.
All right.
You're going down a path regarding vegetables and fruits that I'm just not with you on, because I love the law and quite frankly the love that this couple has for each other, that they would go to such great length.
It's a neat story, but my concern is, what was the man in prison for? If it was like horrendous crimes, then I can't root for the guy. It's like you want to root for him because that's a good one. That's a good escape. It's a good story. But if he was in there for like slaughtering a whole family with their children and everything, you can't root for that guy, whether he made nectarines grenades or not.
Well, you're really killing the story, though, by looking at it that way.
Well, I mean, I look at things IRL, as they say. It's not cool. I know. It doesn't make for a cool story.
Life, that doesn't make any sense. IRL? In real life? Everybody looks at everything.
I mean, I'm not looking.
Phrases. I don't think you know what they mean. You're just saying things. I don't think that
anybody
you have
want a
any
peanut?
idea what they mean.
Inconceivable.
You're just, IRL. I like to keep things real. What does that mean?
I'm not thinking of this as a movie plot. As a movie plot, sure, that's fantastic. It's fantastical. They escape and live happily ever after because he was accidentally imprisoned wrongly or something, or even a little white collar crime. A little white collar's okay. Nobody gets hurt.
No, we do not condone any.
As long as I'm not condoning it. But
you just said a little white collar crime.
Maybe,
is all right.
Maybe you're embezzling from the mafia. I mean, is that so bad?
How do you embezzle from the mafia?
I don't know, but I bet some of them do.
You think that you're getting arrested for embezzling from the mafia?
But somebody
stole my drugs.
You got to cleanse the conscience.
What do you think is going on?
Yeah, you got to cleanse your conscience. Go to the 12 steps.
You don't have any sense of reality. You're the least IRL person I know. You're coming up with this stuff that doesn't make any sense.
Speaking of fantastical, Jurassic World Rebirth, a Snobs review, and go.
Now, I want to hear what you had to think about it.
Okay, so this is the review I posted to our Discord. I said 5.5 out of 10. Because dinosaurs chased and ate people. That alone gives you middle ground. Everything else was hot garbage. Scarlett Johansson cannot act. She's not a lead actress. I mean, sometimes she does fine in movies and sometimes she doesn't. In this one, she was like this super one-note character. And I said I had mentioned to a friend of mine, I said she did like a 180 at the end with her motivations, without any motivation other than the guy saying, you should do this. And he said, no, she had a motivation. Didn't you? You must have missed it. I'm like, yeah, I guess I did. Because one moment she's doing something out of greed and needing money. And then the next minute she's any minor spoilers we might give away as far as if you've seen one Jurassic Park movie, you've seen them all. The kids survive. Shocker. I wish one time let the kid get eat. Just one time.
No, we do not condone kids getting eaten on the show either.
We don't.
Gaby's opinions are expressed as his own.
These are my opinions. Okay, speaking of children, that whole family, that is the most ridiculous, well, not the most, but completely ridiculous, unnecessary subplot. I guess just to provide other dinosaur chasing scenes is all that was for. Characters that went nowhere, no explanations as to where the mother was, what happened to the mother, and if there was, I completely missed it. No character arcs.
He says, your mother's not going to let me take you wherever.
Right. That was it.
In my mind, kind of made me think that perhaps they were divorced.
I guess.
But it's not implied. But I would like to say, before you continue on, is that I have never in my life, this thought went through my head while watching in this movie, is that I hope that they're divorced. I have never had that thought about a character going, yeah, I bet they are divorced because you're an idiot and you took your kids out to dinosaur-infected waters. You're an idiot. And then let this boyfriend, whatever, who's the absolute, one of the worst characters ever written in a major television movie of late.
Just lay around with his very young daughter.
There was nothing likable about this family.
No, there was not.
All.
Zero. Absolutely zero. And the Xavier, the boyfriend, he cracks a lot of terrible, not funny jokes, trying to quip, trying to be funny. The only part I actually laughed at was when he was peeing and the dinosaurs sneak up behind him and like all this stuff happens. And then after it all happens, he continues peeing. I don't know why that got me. Good sound effects, good whatever that is.
Good sound effect.
I mean, the sound of his urination continuing after he was scared, it amused me. But also real quick with him, like there when he's having that chat with the dad, I don't know why she's with me. Don't you put yourself down. We don't put ourselves down like that. I'm like, we? Who is we? Like, are you, that it felt like they're trying to make some big statement about people that put themselves down or people that are regarded in a lower status. Went nowhere. And then the friend's like, she doesn't need to know me or something. Again, went nowhere with any of that. It was so terrible. It was so terrible, so cliche by the numbers. Literally characters just there just to die. I mean, of course, we expect that. But yes,
you gave it, and yet you gave it a 5.5.
No, because I enjoyed it. As stupid as that is, it's a Jurassic Park movie. It's terrible. Dominion and Fallen Kingdom are really, really, really. They're worse in my opinion. But this to me was. I did appreciate the fact they took out all this stupid genetic crap, except for the fact these were genetically altered dinosaurs, and they just made it okay. We're trying to get the blood from these dinosaurs. That's the plot. Go. It was to me like Jurassic Park 3, but worse.
I think that I'm not going to argue which is worse, like Dominion and all that. I will say that this is objectively the most offensive Jurassic Park movie to me, simply because it had so much potential that they could have gone for to have like a return to form of what Jurassic Park could be in the future. And they completely they had the right directors and writers. They got the original writer, and they shot themselves in the foot. That's to me is what's so horrifying about this is that they had all their ducks in a row. They could have really have done something good with this movie.
Yeah,
and they didn't. They wrote it felt like two plots: the one with the family and then the one with the mercenaries. Of course, they don't even. All the dinosaur fodder people, which I absolutely hate. If you're making a show and you know people are going to get killed off by aliens, dinosaurs, insert whatever MacGuffin that you have that you're chasing and the other thing that's going to kill you while you're after it. If you're killing off random people that nobody remembers their name, then you're doing the wrong thing. There has to be stakes involved. There has to be people that it feels like you're worried about what's going to happen and not so obvious that this nameless person who doesn't even speak English, that you're not even putting subtitles up there to figure out what they're saying, is probably going to die. Like, that's a give-in. Don't do that. That's some lazy writing. Also, I went on my rant before about how Jurassic Park hates fat people. Did I go on that rant with you?
I can't remember, but go ahead.
I'm sure I have, because I remember you laughing at it. But I very much pointed out that how all the quote-unquote evil people in the Jurassic Park franchise are all fat. Like Dennis Nedry, he's the fat, lazy guy who's a computer programmer who somehow ends up, taking down the whole thing just with a virus and Windows 95 and a Barbasol can. And then in Jurassic World, the whole thing that kicked off and ruined this multi-billion-dollar company was this one fat guy was too tired to run away from the genetic dinosaur, and he opened the gate. That's literally what happens in that show. If he would have kept the gate closed and just let Chris Pratt and everybody die, they would have been fine. Nothing would have happened. But he opened the gate. They all died. This show is literally, again, about what? Who is the main antagonist of this film? What's the main thing they're trying to defeat?
Greed.
That's not a word. No. What is it?
The monster? The big dinosaur?
No. What's the reason they're going to the park?
Big Pharma.
For what? What are they going to the park to get?
some sort of blood, the blood from the dinosaurs, so they can fix people's hearts.
Yeah, heart disease.
Heart disease.
Literally. That is what the whole thing is. We're going to go cure heart disease by getting blood from dinosaurs somehow. That's the whole plot of the show. It's insane.
Well, it's kind of like the Samuel Jackson Deep Blue Sea. They're trying to fix Alzheimer's.
Yeah, but they were trying to make sharks. They were testing that to try to make the sharks smarter to get the Alzheimer's thing. Like that was the purpose of it. This was just a subplot of we think we can cure heart disease by blood from dinosaurs. It's insanely stupid.
I would rewatch Deep Blue Sea any day over this movie.
Oh, this was not a 5 to me. This was an awful film. I was quite upset that I went to it. I almost didn't. I didn't want to. I was going to wait for all the reviews to come out and do all this. And then I was like, no, I'll just, I know it's going to suck. Or I was really hoping it'd be halfway something, halfway, a little bit decent, like just something. Give me something. But as soon as this review started coming out, as soon as I realized, no, I'd already gone and seen it, and I regretted watching it about halfway through going, this is awful. This is some of the worst writing, some of the worst dialogue. None of it makes sense. It's just, it was awful. It's absolutely awful. I hate this movie. And it's going to make $1 billion. And so they're going to keep making stupid movies like this.
Oh, it's already this weekend, even before the weekend is fully over, it's at $300 million worldwide with a $180 million budget.
Here's what makes me mad about this is that I purposely always avoid movies like this until it kind of comes out and there's some reviews and I at least get an idea that it's going to be decent. Then I'll go to it. I don't like going to shows and giving money to something that is this mediocre because all I'm doing is promoting them to do that again. I'm morally against going to a movie that I know sucks and giving money to a franchise that's going to continue making more sucky movies and killing the franchise even more, making it degrading it even more. So I was quite upset with myself that I even went to the thing about halfway through.
Don't beat yourself.
So yeah. Well, here's the thing. In 2 weeks from now, there could be another surprise Jurassic World movie come out, and you would buy tickets for it immediately.
Oh, yes.
Most people will do it, even after having this experience, which, again, upsets me because it's another thing of we're always going to have these types of degraded, creatively dead films and things just simply because people will always go to this mess and not just put their money where their mouth is.
I think the thing that they've made some cartoon series that are on Netflix that are actually pretty good. The thing that I think keeps Jurassic World alive, Jurassic Park, whatever you want to call it, the Jurassic Park universe, even though they have put out several movies here, but they space them out, 2 or 3 years after each other. They have not killed it like Star Wars and Marvel has killed themselves. They have not completely saturated the market where everyone is sick of it. They're getting close. The last 3 movies have been absolutely terrible, other than the fact that we enjoy watching dinosaurs kill people for some morbid human reason. It's just, they're fascinating. Dinosaurs are fascinating. But Marvel, I have not seen I can't tell you how many Marvel movies at the theater because the TV shows, the last several movies have all been absolutely terrible with characters you don't care about. The last several Star Wars shows have been absolutely terrible. Well, minus Andor, with people you don't care about. And so, but Jurassic they spaced themselves out far enough to where there is anticipation and it's an event. It's an event to go to something Jurassic, kind of like, I guess even Avatar has built itself up to, because everyone expects Avatar to always flop and it always makes $1 billion, breaking its previous record. It's mind-blowing. I say always, there's only been 2 of them, but they plan on making more. So I think they've saved themselves in one way, but they're headed down that path if they don't right the ship at some point. And yes, I will go watch the next one. I'm that guy until I get absolutely sick of dinosaurs eating people. I'm the problem.
You are the problem. We have to stop doing that mess because that is how you get things to get better, is by just not giving these people your money until they can right the ship. That's like all the new Star Wars stuff that they're announcing and all. No, I'm not having anything to do with it.
I didn't go see Thunderbolts, and that's apparently from the dregs of where Marvel has been, everybody was like surprised with Thunderbolts, saying it was entertaining, it was good. But I didn't go watch it because I'm over Marvel. I'm waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus, which I'm already subscribed to for a year. There's nothing but hot garbage on the channel at all. This most recent show, Ironheart, I got 2 episodes in. I'm like, I'm done. I'm good. It's not good. But I don't know. Yeah. Jurassic World Rebirth. The more I think about it, I initially gave it a 6 out of 10 because we went with a large group of people. We enjoyed ourselves just being there talking. We were, even though we were making fun of the movie during the movie, but in retrospect, upon thinking about it, my grade continues to lower. I'm sure at some point it will drop down to a 4.5. But I do just enjoy the theatrical spectacle of seeing these dinosaurs eat people. Now, something I was saying with this, they called it the Distortus Rex or something. The big xenomorph looking monster at the end. It's just
the Rancor.
They've just turned it into a monster movie now. It's not even a dinosaur movie anymore. They're just monsters.
Yeah.
But I gave it my money. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. I hate that stuff. But yeah, it's stupid. And that's kind of like why, of course, it's hard to tell. Sometimes you don't know that a show is going to be that bad. But now with all this Metacritic stuff and all these other things that you can kind of look for and watch and Rotten Tomatoes, you can kind of halfway figure out if something is at least trying. And it just seemed like this film didn't try at all. I think that's really the point of it. Is that, man, it's just bad.
And they get, and ScarJo had zero depth of character or they do some raggedy exposition on apparently she was married, apparently her husband's dead. She starts crying at one point while staring longingly out into the sunset, and then it's nothing. It's just trying to force these character moments into the movie that you felt nothing for. And again, her turn at the end, I didn't see anything in the movie that made her do that. Did you?
No. There was nothing. The whole thing to me didn't make a bit of sense because it was like, we could make this available to everybody. How? You're a mercenary?
Right. That's another thing.
Random dinosaur dude.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Like, no, barring the fact that you already accepted, no doubt, the contract to do this job, you're now going to what? You think that this pharma company is going to let you go ahead and just steal this? That's stealing. That they've contracted you to do because you think that they're going to patent it or whatnot. I understand the whole mindset behind it, but at the same time, it's one of those weird things that you're going, I don't know where they're going with this. This doesn't make a bit of sense. It would have been, to me, better if, one, you completely take the family out of this and have them do this side quest thing, whatever, for the blood, or it just be a straightforward, this family is a rich family who broke the law and went on the island and now they're trapped and we have to send the mercenaries in to get them. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just awful. The whole thing's
But
awful.
Instead they chose 2 parallel storylines that merge together and then get separated back apart and then merge together again at the end. It was absolutely terrible.
They obviously had 2 scripts. They obviously had 2 scripts of what they were wanting to do, and they couldn't decide. And they said, "No, this is what we're going to do." So, it was bad. Anyways, stop talking about it. It sucks.
Okay.
Anyways, speaking of something that didn't suck here, I just played a game with my kids. They're barely over COVID. I said, "Listen, I bought this game at a bookstore." Anyways, ended up getting a hold of going to a great bookstore in Tulsa. Finding some dit and ding board games.
Barnes and Noble.
No, it's not Barnes and Noble. Why are you always guessing? If I was going to tell you what it is, I'd just tell you. I'm not saying to guess.
Books.
It's not a bookstore. No, I'm not accepting any guesses. It's not worth telling.
Oh, Books a
It's
Million.
just a used bookstore. No, none of those are used bookstores.
You can buy used books at
half-price
half-price books.
Yeah, but they don't have half-price books in Oklahoma.
A store named Thrift eBooks, but instead of it being a Y, it's an actual E. And they also sell electronic versions of the books.
So I can get back on track. I bought Space Base.
Wow. Thought you hated that game.
Now, Space Base, I've never played it.
It's the Machikoro killer. I just assumed you would not be interested.
I'm not interested in it at all. I bought it because it was dirt cheap, and I had read reviews on it for a long time. People going, this is like Machikoro, but better, and it fixes this and this and this and this and so forth and so on. So I bought this because it was purported to be a family level game, and it plays just very similar to Machikoro. You're buying a card, you're rolling 2 dice, whatnot. I read through the instructions real fast, got a good sense of it, set it up today and played it with my poor, barely over COVID kids. They absolutely loved it.
Do we have to play, Daddy? I'm still quite sick.
Jack declared it that it's quite possibly his favorite game.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, really? And so what caught my attention about this is that how a game like Machikoro, which was awful, I don't know why that game was popular. This game takes the rules, re-themes it a little bit, and then just tweaks the rules just enough to make it worthwhile. So it's very simple. You have your little player board. From 1 to 12, you put your little spaceships on them. And that's your space base. And the whole thing is that when you roll the dice, when you roll those 2 dice, you can either select the sum or the numbers on the dice. So if you roll a 2 and a 6, you can take those 2 dice and put them on your number 8 spaceship and do the thing that it says, which is either get money or get victory points or do a thing. Or you can separate them and do the 2 and the 6 and activate those 2 ships. And then as soon as you do that, everybody else around the board, when they see what you roll, they're getting their benefit of those numbers as well, of the ships that are out in that sector that they have deployed. Then you buy a card, and that card replaces the card that's on your little space base, and the previous card gets slotted in there, and now it's a bonus for when that number is rolled. That simple. First one that gets to a certain amount of points wins. And just that little bit of change with what the cards can do and how they kind of build a little bit of an engine and how it kind of mixes things up, and there's certain powers for certain type of ships, and that you can use the numbers or the combination of the 2 and where you set them and when your ships activate, yada, 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 yada. Yeah, it's good. I was surprised by how much I liked it.
I played it on BGA with Chasson, and it was fun.
Uh-huh.
It's good.
Yeah, for it being a family level game, like this is exactly what I want. I explained the whole, 2 dice, 7's going to be the most likely thing to roll type thing to my kids, where you want to put your ships and all that. And yeah, it works. It's not a great game that I'm dying to play again. But if my kids say, hey, let's play Space Base, I have 0 problems playing it. It's quick. It gets over fast. Yes, you have some decisions. Yes, you're making some choices of what ships you're buying. It's cool. I would have never thought that I would have enjoyed this game as much as I did. I still hate Machikoro because it is the still dumbed down, just roll the dice and hope something happens. This gives you choice, which Machikoro really didn't. This gives you some agency on how to negate things. And it adds a little bit of complexity, but then it stops it. Like it really pushes it just a little bit and then stops it. So it doesn't overwhelm the players. But yeah, I would have never have thought that I liked this game. I would have never bought it new. I found it dirt cheap and got it, and I'm super pleased with it. And my kids love it. So yeah, Space Base. There you go.
2 thumbs up from Jer.
Jack loves it.
Did you sleeve your cards so that their noses wouldn't drip onto it due to them being violently ill with COVID?
They're weird little like gumstick looking cards.
Oh,
They modify
really?
the card, so you there's no way to sleeve them.
Huh. I didn't know that. I thought they were normal looking cards, a little bit smaller.
Nope, they are not.
Yeah, I've only played on BGA. I liked it, but I only played it once, and I just remember it. I wasn't blown away by it, but it seemed okay. Speaking of BGA, Lorenzo Il Magnifico is on beta, and I'm playing it on there with a few of our listeners, and it just reminded me how much I love Lorenzo Il Magnifico. Now we are playing with some the bonus stuff, the expansions that provide you with like these leader type cards, and I don't care for all that. It doesn't neither hurt nor harm. I don't find them necessary. Just the basic Lorenzo I enjoy. Again, it's such a fantastic game. You roll your die, then you have your family members that you send out to the towers or a variety of other open spots on the board. You need money, you need faith points, you need all types of stuff. You need rock and wood, and you're trying to build out your tableau on your player board, and it's so tight. You can't just go and get whatever cards you want, because if there's somebody else already in the tower, you got to pay 3 coin, and it's not easy to get money in this game. I mean, there's a spot to get money, but that's a waste of turn just to go and get money. So everything you do in this game counts. Every move you make counts. And you ultimately only have, I forget how many rounds there are, but 12 times whatever 4 family members. So you have a limited set number of moves to make in the game, and that's it. So how do you best make those moves the most efficiently? Oh, Lorenzo Magnifico. I texted Jerry after I played a few rounds of it online. We're playing async, of course, because that's what everybody does. And I said, this makes me want to play it again. IRL, as I like to say.
Yeah, it's good. Lorenzo's really good. I've always enjoyed Lorenzo. Always been one of those games that just has that limited amount of choices, real brain burny, the whole thing. But yeah, we need to play that on BGA. I'm glad it's coming out on that. I had 2 games that I was looking at that were my up and coming games that I would like to play, things that I was like excited about, because there's not a lot of games coming out that I've really been, chomping at the bit to play. And as we were recording, I just went ahead and ordered them. One I saw in Walmart or Target, and I did not buy it there because I'm like, I ain't buying something from Target. But Sleeping Gods, Primeval Peril. That is the new small box version, secondary thing of. It came out a couple of years back, so this is one I'm late to the game because it's like 2023. It's a standalone game that's for 1 to 2 players, set in that Sleeping Gods world, and so it's one of those things of it's. I want to play Sleeping Gods, but I don't want to commit to spending $100 and buying the whole game. I just want to kind of get the mechanics behind it. So this is not a new game, but it's Ryan Lockett. I know I'm going to like it. Hopefully I can talk Kay into playing it with me.
I know I'm going to lock it.
I know. Another game that came out that I would have purchased just based on principle alone that I did not know was even a thing, and I felt very upset that I did not know that it was even a thing. Because it is from a designer for which I have a great deal of respect for, and one that I actually, if I had heard that this was a thing, I would have been in line. But Matt Girk, people know Matt Girks from, the
Concordia,
titular quintessential Concordia game. You would know him even from a game for which we very much love that has been way out of print. But that Imperial, was it Imperial 2070 or 10? What was it? Imperial
2030. A mere 5 years away.
There you go. He has redone it, apparently. It's called 7 Empires and done a new version of it. So it is very much like that, but slightly more accessible. He kind of riffed on it from what I understood and has released it.
Andy riffing.
And yeah, and so I'm all about that. Matt Gertz. If Matt Gertz puts out something, and apparently it came out last year, but I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen it anywhere. But it's a 2 to 6 players. And yeah, it was one that it flew by it. As a matter of fact, when I was trying to find out more about it, people are like posting on the BGG going, why has nobody talked about this? Where is it out? And people are just going on going, hey, like there's nobody's reviewing it.
Imperial 2030. So did he reskin it, remake it, streamline it? Why?
So the whole thing is that there's several people who have posted that they've played it. They said it didn't feel much like Imperial. It says it was more like a distant relative. There's no money or dividends involved. It's not as much as a investment game. It's more like a pure war game where there is like some influence involved. It's quicker and a little bit less complicated. So it's one of those that he's basically taken his Imperial 2030 and kind of adjusted a little bit. I don't know if this is like trying to make it less complex than 2030 to make it more mainstream. I don't know.
Is my boy in it, Rondell?
You know what? That's a good question. Let me look real fast. That's another thing that I did that did not jump out at me when I was looking at it. At the mechanisms was I did not see it. It says alliances, area movement, variable setup. It doesn't say Rondell. I'm not seeing a Rondell in it. It looks like there might be though.
Oh, okay. I'm back in.
Wait a second. There is like a pseudo Rondell, I believe, from when I was glancing at the rule books, where if you pick a action, it can't be used for a certain amount of turns or something of that nature, I believe. But I'm not seeing an actual Rondell in it. It looks very much like it looks. If you look on BGG, you'll see it looks very Euro. It's very drab looking. It looks like they just took the Concordia board and got wooden tokens, and they knew the audience. They're looking for draw Euros. That this is very much it. And so, yeah, I'm all about Matt Gertz. He's my guilty pleasure. He always makes these dry, ugly looking games that I love, and chunky wooden pieces. And Imperial 2030 was awesome. If this game is more accessible to the least degree, and I can get some more of the people around here that I've been gaming with to kind of play it, I'm all about it. So I ordered both of those just now as we were talking.
Really?
So they're on their way. Yeah.
If only we can hopefully find time to get together and play.
Well, we will.
The enemy of board game snobs is time. Is it not the enemy of us all, if we really think about it?
That's correct.
How do you spell Gertz? Is it Gertz? Is it that simple? I doubt it.
I believe it is. Let me look. I'm on BGG right now.
Or does he go by Matthew?
Matt Gertz.
Is it Matthew Gertz?
I keep saying Matt Gertz. It's not Matt Gertz. It's Mac. M-A-C.
Really?
Gertz. G-E-R-D-T-S. Gertz. He's the guy that did Antica and
Mackenzie
Gertz. He did that Navigador, which I always wanted to play. I never got around to it. And that Transatlantic was his last game that came out. And I heard terrible things about that game, but never got to play it. I don't know why it was hated upon. I looked at it and didn't like just the look of it. Just looked pretty rough to me.
Mackenzie Gertz.
But I don't know. I need to play that.
There's a D in there.
That was the last game.
I forgot the D.
But this Seven Empires is a Rio. If I'm not mistaken, it's a Rio Grande game.
And TK2, I've always wanted to play that. Never have. It's supposed to be pretty good. He's relying heavily upon Imperial to keep his brand going. Imperial was the original, then 2030, and now he's revamped it yet again. But that's fine. You do you.
Well, I don't know if this is a revamp. He doesn't claim that it's a revamp. It looks like he's taken the Rondell and did some different other things with it.
You know a game that came and went, and well, it didn't. It was had some hullabaloo around it when it was out because, of course, it's Stonemeyer and Jamie and all that stuff. The viticulture world. I know you don't like you don't like cooperative, but it's viticulture, and it's I haven't seen or heard much about it since it came out.
I never even heard of it. If it did, it went in one ear and out the other.
It was the one that came out that made viticulture a cooperative game. And I don't even know that Jamie made it. It was like created by other people.
That was an expansion in 2022. Viticulture World worked together to compete against asymmetric continents on a new board.
Yeah, so I mean it's an expansion, but it's got like new everything, except I think you still use the meeples. But I wanted to play that, and I heard positive things about it, and I know it's old, and nobody cares about it because it's old. 2022, you said? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I love viticulture. I still, it's one of the few games I still enjoy playing solo. And I'd like to play Viticulture World sometime, but I just now thought of it. Just like not New Orleans, Old Orleans, Orleans. They came out with the several expansions for it that made it like cooperative, and then a variety of different ones.
You know how I feel about Orleans, though.
Yeah, I know. I went all in on Orleans, but it's one of those games.
I don't know why you kept doing that, because
nobody
liked it.
Look. That period was the period of time when I was hot and heavy into all things board gaming, no matter what, no matter if we played them a lot. I just was into buying everything, all the bits from Board Game
I know,
Geek,
but you kept buying something for a game that nobody liked.
I enjoy it.
Kept going, we don't like this game.
We liked it the first time we played it, and then not much thereafter.
Yeah. And then you kept buying. Then after that, you bought every expansion and bling thing you could for it. When we were like, we don't play it, we don't like it. I don't think we've literally. Last time we played,
now I can't let go.
You had bought all those. You bought all those
bits.
bling tokens that make the game that were awful. Like you should just use the regular tokens.
Well, no, I bought I bought the not the tokens that you draw out of the bag, because those are nice. The actual like resources, the resource tokens, I bought those off of like Meeple Source or something, and they do kind of complicate the game, and they're chunky and get in the way, and they're hard to have all on the board. But yeah, I don't know. That's a game I blinged out, bought everything for, even though we don't play it. And it was a time in my life when I was doing such stupid things and wasting money recklessly on board gaming. I'm much wiser and older now. That's not me. That was old Gaby. New Gaby knows better.
I don't know if much has changed.
That was 2017 to 2019 Gaby. Now that I've been through a plague and pandemic, and I'm old and wizened, and I know better. And in fact, I barely. I did buy a game though.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday. I go to I went with my family, and we went to Dallas, and I go to Madness Games and Comics, and
Texas.
I don't know why.
Did I guess it right?
Yes, good job.
Thank you.
And I don't know. Here's the sad thing. I love the idea of brick and mortar. I hate paying them prices. It's tough because everything is at least $15 more expensive than it is online. Some things much more. Some games, for example, they had the Undaunted, the futuristic one in space.
Mm-hmm.
It was $89.99, and you can get it for much less online. But I couldn't. I'm not going to spend. Nor did I have the money to spend almost $100 on a board game, because it was in store and I could lay my hands on it immediately. You want to keep these guys are doing a good thing, and they have places in there where you can go in there and play your Magic the Gathering and all whatever other games that you like. It's a place to meet new people and play your games, blah, blah, blah. But as far as buying, I rarely buy from them because I can't. I'm a poor man on a budget.
I'm anxiously waiting for you to get to what you bought.
So as I browse the store, just joking. Splendor Duel. I bought Splendor Duel. I've heard nothing, but literally nothing but rave reviews for Splendor Duel. And I look at the box, I look at the back, and it doesn't appear to have, I'm sure, yes, there are relations to Splendor, obviously, but it's done it in a completely different way, and it's just one-on-one, a battle. So I purchased it because it was relatively cheap, and it was actually the same price as I found it online. So I was like, all right, that's a good deal. So I bought it hands-on because, okay, and here's another reason why. My wife and I, we've been at the house over the weekends because we're, it doesn't matter. I was going to tell you about our finances. We're trying to stay home and save some money because if we go out and eat and go to Dallas, well, we spend lots of money. So instead, we stay home, try to save some money. My wife loves playing Rummikub or Rummikub, whatever it's called.
What's that?
It is literally rummy with plastic tiles with numbers on them.
I've never played Rummy. I have no idea. The name of it, it just turns me off.
So you can make runs or sets. So either you can lay down a hand of 1, 2, 3, all in the same suit, or you can lay down 5, 5, 5, all on a separate suit. Kind of like a straight and a 3 of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have a straight, but in Rummikub or in Rummy, it has to be a straight flush. It has to be all the same suit. Whereas in Rummikub, so you draw out these tiles. They're kind of like, so for lack of a better term, they're like domino shaped, but much smaller, much thinner. They're numbered 1 through 12, and you shuffle them up. You put 14 on your player board in front of you, kind of like what's the word game everybody plays back in the old days? Categories. You place 14 of them in front of you, and then to start the game, you have to lay out 30 points. So you need either, like I said, 3 of a set or a straight run of the same color. And they're all colors like black, blue, red, and orange, something like that. And once you lay them out, though, and once you make your initial bid of 30, once you make your initial thing of 30, you have 30 points on the board. Then after that, well, if I have like a random 5 once I have a 5 in my personal hand, then I can add that 5 to what my wife laid down that was 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. If she lays down a 2, 3, 4, I can put my 5 behind her 4. And so you get rid of your hand that way. It's getting rid of your hand the fastest is the game. And you play it, you can play it a variety. You can play it first person out wins, or some people play it where if I go out first, then whatever you're stuck with counts against you, that type of thing. But we just play whoever goes out first wins. And she loves it. And it's not terrible. I've played Rummy my entire life with cards. So a Rummikub or Rummikub, I literally don't know what it's called, is fine to me. And it's something to do other than watch TV. So I bought Splendor Duel thinking maybe my wife will enjoy that because she does enjoy Lost Cities. She does enjoy Azul. It just has to have this barrier of entry that's just the right amount for her. And I'm hoping Splendor Duel might be our next Rummikub.
It looks really boring. Rummy does.
I mean, no, you wouldn't like it. It's a very old card game. I played it a lot growing up. And what you can do, the thing is, and I don't know what the rules are, but you can like withhold, you can sandbag to like, oh, I've got all of these in my hand. Aha, I've been holding back on you and now I'm all out at the same time and you're stuck looking like a fool. Or you can play, if you have something to play, you have to play it. So different people play different ways. There's probably a little more strategy in the holding back course, but depends on your partner, what they like to play and how they like to play.
Well, looks like it.
Well, deep subject.
All right. I gotta get off here. I gotta get my kids something to eat. Everybody's dying of COVID.
I'm starving, Daddy. My throat feels like glass. Poor Jack.
Bad.
Poor Jack. Do they have sore throats? Seriously?
Nah, they don't. They don't.
Oh,
they're good.
That's good. Runny noses?
I'm not going down all their symptoms.
What is their most?
Then you're going to think you.
What's
you
the most
COVID.
egregious symptom?
There are none. They're good. They're fine.
Oh, well, good. They're asymptomatic.
They're good. Asymptomatic. We're good.
That's good to hear. That's going to do it for this episode. Join us next week, hopefully, when we have other content for you. Until next time, I'm Gaby.
It's Jerry.
Bye-bye.
Entry-level knowledge, expert-level nonsense, discussing anything and everything, and sometimes board games. Sometimes Enrique shows up, la la la. Sometimes Enrique shows up, la la la. show